Failure is simply the opportunity to begin again, this time more intelligently. Henry Ford. And my friends, again, what's so beautiful about these quotes we do every day is it is wisdom from the past, from people who have succeeded that have a nugget of wisdom to give us. Let's jump into these charts. Stocks are up for the day. Bonds, gold, and Bitcoin are down. Now, the S&P 500 moving on up for the day, 0.23%. We had our jumping in point, of course, earlier this week on Monday morning when we went from red from Friday to green. That was Friday afternoon to Monday morning, and boom. We entered about 10:45 into that trade when things crossed over. And of course, so far we've been moving in the right direction. We set our stop at a loss of 1.33. We, of course, set our gain. Let's move this down at double that at 2.67. We're looking for that price target as we move along, not too far from it. Remember, 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio. We base, of course, it on the average true range that shows us it was 5.33 to begin with. And the nice thing about this little widget here is if you haven't used it before, you go over here and you've got a long or a short. Since we were going long, we used the long one. And of course, it worked. It is working smoothly for us. It's one of the prediction and measurement tools. I just love it. It's one of the best things there. It makes it so easy and clean, and you can see it right on your chart. So we're moving in the right direction there. We're at a plus 15 because we're green on the STC. Of course, we're green on the candles above the 200 EMA on that half day. The 2-day, we're pushing through it quite strongly on this latest 2-day candle. It's green on the STC and again pushing above the 200 EMA. And the weekly is above the 200 EMA. You can see green candle, green on the STC. Nice to see. We'll see if we can close that out over the course of this next week. Hopefully we can do so. Now, we did not jump into an up move on the Qs because we did not have the STC reset for us. You can see where it went up, then went red sideways, then went up again, went down, didn't clear this center band, which is required for us to reset it so we can get an accurate move. So we did not take it. It is moving up like the S&P 500, but you don't have to take every trade if the rules aren't followed. That is more like gambling and not being sensible. And again, it's all right. You don't have to take every trade. Now, what do we see going on here? Well, we are below the 200 EMA still on the 2-day chart. NASDAQ got whopped a whole lot more than the S&P on the latest down moves in the past. We are green on the STC, though, on the weekly. We can see the weekly has pushed through over the course of this last week and sustained a rise above the 200 EMA. Candle's not cleared it yet, but has moved substantially through it. And of course, green on the STC. So we'll continue to watch over the course of this next week. If there's a pullback and we can see the green STC reset, give us a chance for an up move, that would be great too. Let's move out of stocks to bonds. What's going on with bonds? Well, bonds are reset on the STC right now. We are above the 200 EMA. We saw where bonds went down for 2 days and then, of course, went up for 2 days and now sideways and down a little bit for 2 days. Which way is it going to go? Well, we're reset on the STC. It'd be nice to see it jack up this next week and give us an opportunity to jump in. We, of course, are green on the STC on the 2-day. We can see where it shot up and then sort of been sliding sideways the last 3 2-day candles, green spinning top right now. Less indecision than almost that doji before. And we don't have a red down candle like we had previous to the almost doji there. So we'll see. Hopefully things will start moving in the right direction. What about the weekly? Well, last week we saw things spike up to the most recent high. This week, smaller candle. And let's just see what we're seeing on the volume there. You can also see the volume has decreased markedly too. So we had volume spike up 3 weeks ago. And then last week, I don't know if I would say, I guess 2 weeks ago we had it spike up. Last week volume decreased but hit a higher high. And of course this week we see things slowing down and volume decreasing pretty substantially. Well, not substantially, but decreasing, as one would expect with a smaller candle. So don't know if that move's petering out yet or maybe just digesting some of those prior gains and it's going to shoot back up again. We'll just wait and see. Of course, what we're waiting for here is, of course, for things to take off on the STC. If indeed it does it. So mark your show notes and keep an eye on 20-year bonds over the course of this next week. Now let's move on to gold. Gold down for the day, 0.14%. Now we look at gold, and of course gold up. We've seen it go up and down a little bit, up, sideways, up, down a little bit, up, and then down for 2 days now. Is it just digesting more of those gains or heading down? We look at the volume. And of course, we can see the volume's substantially less, so it's not spiking up in down moves over the last day and a half. We go to the 2-day chart, and again, went from all green up candles, no bottom wicks at all. You have to go all the way back to the 5th of January, and then we get a green spinning top, so that is showing some weakness as far as volume goes. You know, we can see a lot of selling into that weakness. You notice that the price ranging a lot, but as far as the candle itself being a strong up candle, not, but you got a lot of volume there. So it looks like, you know, the sellers were being replaced by buyers. So you may see people selling out there at the top, maybe hoping it will go down. And of course, we look overall for the week, you know, a decent move up and a decent candle related to that. So that's a good move overall when you look at all 5 days in the week. I mean, we're right there at the average. We're not spiking up anything crazy, but kind of volume we saw as things continued to climb. Candle is smaller, so we'll just keep an eye on gold over it. You know what I want gold to do? I want gold to pull back. I want gold to pull back stronger, and then take off again, go. We've already seen the STC reset, and then spike up, see lots of volume increase, and give us a chance to ride gold up even further. That's where we are on gold. Let's lastly go to Bitcoin. What do we see on Bitcoin? Well, again, we saw Bitcoin spike up, top out right in this area, the 23rd through the 25th. Then it popped up a little more. We saw the volume really spike on Thursday afternoon, but you can see the price didn't spike a lot. I mean, it was everything they, could. I mean, lots and lots of volume, but no price. So maybe you got people taking profits in here. So again, you can see where it topped and then tried to move down with a lot of volume, didn't do it, then moved up a little bit. So maybe you got a lot of people taking profit there. And of course, once they finish taking that profit, maybe you'll see things move down. Don't know, but we'll wait, watch, and see. As we look also at the 2-day chart, we can see where it has moved up, really moved up there on that 2-day chart on the 20th. That was last Thursday. I guess that's Friday, Monday. And then the Tuesday, Wednesday, we see in the Thursday, Friday. But you can see ever decreasing volume as things move up just a little bit higher. So again, might see people trying to test a high there to see if the market's going to sustain that or pull back. Now that's on the 2-day chart. And let's take that into check out where this little green line here shows you where price topped out. And it's about where it topped out back in here several months ago, back in August and July. So is that going to be sort of a a ceiling for price here recently, or is it just going to sit there for a while and then slam up again? Well, with this decreasing volume, maybe not. We'll just watch, wait and see. Now let's check out if the weekly can tell us anything here. Same thing with decreasing volume. And look at that. You had this spike with a big old candle back on the week beginning the 17th of January. That was last week. And the volume went down with a larger candle than the prior week where the volume was higher. So we'll keep an eye on things. And of course, this week's the least of volume over the last three. And again, like we said, topping out right about where it did in August. So we'll see. This next week will tell us possibly a good bit. That is where we are, folks, as we end the day on Friday. We always love to have you with us. We always love to hear your questions, problems, and concerns. Don't hesitate to reach out to us, cw@chartingwealth.com. God bless, my friends. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth World Headquarters.